Operations is the front office of the bank. We are a team of about 800 people, and we represent the bank. We have the relationship management of the bank with our various counterparts and clients. So what we do is that we coordinate the efforts of the bank towards finding new projects, appraising new projects, and signing and of course dispersing contracts. So the professionals in operations are generally people with a finance background. They run the financial analysis around project, and they coordinate with the various colleagues on other aspects of the due diligence of the projects that we finance.
EIB is the largest public climate action financier worldwide. So the opportunity to have an impact in this space, which I'm very passionate about, is primarily what drove me here. And to be able to do this in a European context just added to EIB's appeal.
The reason I applied for the EIB was that I always wanted to work in an international environment. I did this in the private sector. But actually, having started in the public sector, I was always looking for an opportunity to return on this side. And the specific position that I started in the finance department actually allowed me to do almost the same job, just from the other side, which was a great experience, in fact.
I work in the bank since 22 years. Before that, I was working with Ernst & Young and ABN AMRO, mainly in audit. So when I came to the bank, I was working as an assistant or advisor to the audit committee of the bank. After that, I switched to operations department and worked in different roles. For instance, starting in Germany for 7 years, then working in Central Europe. Afterwards, I managed for a long time a program for innovation finance, which was set up together with the European Commission. And in the end, I switched to the neighboring countries to finance operations, mainly in the eastern neighboring countries.
I see myself in lending as really the connecting point and the nexus between colleagues from different teams. So on every project we have our risk management colleagues, our lawyers, our engineers, and we each look at an operation from a different angle, but we all look in the same direction, which is to make a real impact to the European economy.
The job of loan officer is very diverse, because being responsible for a particular operation in a capacity of a loan officer in the European Investment Bank means end-to-end responsibility from origination to signature of the contract and disbursement of the contract, which means at the beginning identification of the operation. So a lot of meetings, receiving a lot of requests from the external world, then building up project team together with colleagues from other departments. This is particularly interesting in working as a loan officer because there is a lot of teamwork, both externally and internally.
What is really exciting about operations is that you get to see a lot of different projects, and you get to accompany them from beginning to end. You also get to represent the bank in many different occasions, and you get to be the face of the bank. So if you are someone who is interested in a frontline position and someone who is interested in relationship management with a finance twist, operations is definitely the place to be.
I wanted a place where you can unleash your creativity. And it's true that surprisingly enough, even people think, oh, public institution, etc., must be very rigid. But no, at the end you realize how we can adapt to the market, to the needs of the market and to the changing situation of the market, which is dramatically has changed a lot in the past few years. So the EIB in that sense offers that blend, of being able to combine that policy part, but also that flexibility where you can really be creative.
So when you think about impact, it's much more tangible than you'd think. So a few months ago, we were on a mission in Denmark. We were visiting a local bank that focuses on a small region. And while we were driving on these weaving roads, very windy. You see these small wind farms and you see the small-scale renewable energy installations, and you know that by financing that bank, we supported them to do more and better what they're doing. So with every spin of the nacelle of the wind turbine, it's clean energy, it's also additional revenue for the small-scale entrepreneur or the farmer, and I think this kind of impact is what I find really rewarding.
Having worked in the private sector before, what I really enjoy now is that we're not only focusing on the profit aspect. What we are asked to do is really to assess whether the projects are sound and help the other policy goals that the bank is promoting.
The EIB funds go to final beneficiaries who are real small and medium enterprises in the countries like Georgia, Armenia, Ukraine, and there it's very big reward to see this money working for the local economy, to see the real projects of entrepreneurs who, thanks to EIB, thanks also to my work, received proper access to finance and could invest in the small and medium companies.
I have to admit that when my wife and I looked at the option to move to Luxembourg, we haven't heard a lot about Luxembourg, and we didn't know what to expect. And after having lived in New York, Paris, and London, it was definitely not the first choice. However, now having a family, my children are now 6 and 9 years old. We very much like it.
Luxembourg really gives you an opportunity to have a social life because many people are in the same situation as you are. They all come from outside. They're all looking to meet people. They have a really interesting backgrounds. They have a good education. So really you have a lot of opportunities to meet people and to really combine a lot of different things.
When I joined 18 years ago, in fairness, coming from the private sector, I did not think that I was going to stay for a long time in the public sector. First of all, I did not think ever of myself being a public servant. However, 18 years later, I'm still here. And why am I still here today? Because I think that EIB, at least for me, offers the best balance between three fundamental elements, which are the quality of the working environment. And in that, I count in particular the intellectual and drive quality of the colleagues that you meet, and also the fact of working for a mission. It's very important to all of us. We're working for Europe. The quality of the life that you get outside of work and your work and your general environment, and Luxembourg, to my mind, at least for some people who want to raise families, is an interesting place to live. And thirdly, the overall compensation package that we have in EIB. That includes not only salary, but also other types of benefits. We promote teleworking. We try to be very flexible around accommodating individual situations. EIB is a particularly careful employer when it comes to settling individual situations and given the flexibility for people to reconcile their private and professional life. So when you take these three elements into account, EIB is a fantastic employer. That has been my opinion for 18 years and it still is my opinion, and for that reason I would strongly encourage anybody to apply and join EIB.